Yo, it's Thomas Anthony from FinishBetterMusic.com, and today I'm going to show you every single element that goes into a full and complete deep house song. We'll go over the drums, the bass, the vocals, the leads, the breakdown, and the effects. I've also included a free deep house sample pack that you can download in the description of the YouTube video, and it includes all the sounds that I use in my new single, I Believe, that just came out on Nora and Pure's label. Okay, let's get into it, baby. Right, so this is the project for my latest tune, I Believe. It came out on Enormous Tunes, which I'm super happy to say it came out on. This is Nora and Pure's label. So many badasses like Nora and Pure, Sons of Maria, Me and My Toothbrush have released on this label. So I'm super stoked to have a release on there. And I'll quickly play through, I'll skip through the parts of the track so that you can just get an idea of what the track sounds like in different areas, and then I'll break down each individual part. Okay, so first off, we start with the breakdown. It's just like a normal intro. Then I introduce the vocals and the drums come in. And then in this little build-up section, I just kind of take some elements away and start to get ready for the drop. And then the drop. So the first part of the drop, I just have the kick and bass playing and the perks, and then the second part I bring in the vocals, and then the third part I bring in a melody. And then the melody coming in. And then I break it down, and basically these first two parts are the same, so I'm not going to go through this, but for the third part of this, like the build-up section, I break it down, but I start to introduce this another like melody that's a little bit more flushed out. And have that playing. And a little build up. And then the melody just plays, then vocals, and then kind of like the outro bit. So I'll quickly show you this actually. So vocals. And in this part, I've layered the vocals so they're like a low vocal as well. And then it finally all comes back in at the end. So I'll first start off and talk about the vocals because that was kind of like the main theme of the song. So we just got this honestly from Splice. It was just one vocal loop and it basically was this length. And this is all we had to work with. And one thing I am super stoked about is that just from looking at other people's tunes, it's okay to use Splice tunes. Like obviously this track got signed. But also you can make just like a 16 bar loop work throughout the whole song, and that's what I'm going to show you. So I basically have this vocal here. I believe, I close my eyes and finally. So this will be the verse, and then this I believe will be like kind of build up, be pre-chorus kind of thing. And this is kind of like how I arrange the song. So I have like the verse, then the chorus here, then the drop happens, and I just have this little super reverbed and delayed out kind of I Believe, and then I bring back in the main verse over here. So at this section, I believe, I close my eyes. And then in the second breakdown, I pretty much have it rinse and repeat. So I have the same stuff here, same stuff here, same stuff off the drop, and then I bring in basically the whole thing in over here. But to keep it interesting on this part, I have it layered with a low vocal. So I'm just continually making it interesting as the song progresses. Now, if you're interested in downloading a sample pack for this, I've included the bass MIDI, the melody MIDI, and the piano chords, along with some awesome sounds like the atmosphere, the bass side change, the clap, this like swell thing, which I'll get into, the crash, hat loops, kick, melody, perk loop, piano, reverses, risers, string loop, vocal swells, and vocal textures. So I'll go through all of those, but you can download those for free download in the link in the description. So basically, let's look at the drums here first. So I have this kick here, which I have a couple layers of the kick, and it's just a nice kick that I've layered up in whatchamacallit, I've just layered up and processed. And then this main pluck thing here, I transposed it and added a bunch of effects to it to make it nice and saucy, but that's kind of like one of the main themes of the song. Like, I love this part where it just kind of, and it's just basically on the offbeat. Then for the drums, I basically just have a bunch of claps here, layered, and then some hi-hats. There's a bunch of hi-hats in here. And then a bunch of just Big Z's. He's a great producer. His fills. Just little things. And Evo Sounds, another great sample pack company. And then basically, so what I have is I just have the kick playing for the first bit. Then I introduce the hi-hats. And then I introduce like a shaker loop here. So it's like just hi-hats and then a shaker loop. And that's kind of like the progression of the drums. And in the breakdown, I just have nothing coming in at first. It's just the chords. And then I have, I introduce this kick, but then I kind of slowly cut out some of the highs and lows of it as it progresses throughout the song. So that's basically it for the drums. Pretty simple, again, just like kick, then introduce hi-hats, and the clap, and then finally some shaker loops, and then I keep it going. The shakers in the breakdown for the second breakdown, and then I introduce all the drums because I want to increase the momentum. And then the same thing for the drop, like literally these sections are exactly the same. Now let's get into the bass. I did a whole video on the bass, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but basically there's a layers. I made a video just explaining all these layers last week, so you can check that out. But basically it's just playing the chord progression from the chords. So we made these chords, and it's just playing the lower notes of the chord. And that's kind of what we have for the bass line. Again, just go check out that video if you want to see the detailed breakdown of the actual bass. But sounds like that, sounds pretty fat, and it's just following the chord progression. Now the harmony, this is probably one of my favorite parts. So Carlo actually made this pluck, I believe it was, in Hive, and it's just a nice simple pluck with some OTT, like the reverb is OTT'd, so it really sticks out. And this, when I first heard this was a nice, like sexy deadmousey kind of vibe to the song, and I was like, oh, that's awesome, because initially we had like a plucky bass going along here, and then I totally rewrote the bass line to make this more kind of like deadmau5 style. So that just is like a consistent theme throughout the song, and we have it filtered out. And it just kind of like builds up, and we can see the MIDI here. It's just playing, this part's just playing the main chords, one note of, or one chord from the main thing, and then it finally expands. And again, this whole thing stemmed with us just making this chord progression at first, and then we expanded it out to different instruments. And then there's also this little, we actually didn't have that on, that wasn't on. But then let's look at the piano. So we have a few layers for the pianos. So in here we have this one, a nice deep one going right and left to make a nice wide piano. And then we have this mid piano, which is just a Nexus going down the middle with a little bit of EQing to make it all work. And then together, all those sound this nice thick piano. And we just have it filtering in basically like over top of the drop. So it's constantly just like evolving. And it gives us time for like just room to put in the vocals happening like as the song progresses. And that pretty much just kind of is like another one of the main themes of the song. So that in just the harmony section here, Sounds really, really nice. Now, if you want to ever learn to make a song, or you're having trouble making a song that's interesting from start to finish, we do have our music mentoring program, and we teach exactly how to do that step by step. And I'll talk a little bit about that at the end, but if that's something you're interested in, there's a link down in the description below to find out more about our mentoring program. Okay, but let's talk about these cool sounds. So one of the main ones was this thing that I found in a Cashmere pack. And just having the minimal bass line with just the kick happening and these cool sounds really give this a nice vibe. So I also made this song a sound in Omnisphere, which I just thought was this nice swell. So it goes swell, and then that's kind of going left to right. So that creates a nice vibe. Also have this high swell and a low swell. Just kind of like flowing throughout the song. So this would be like the main kind of like interesting bit for the first part. Then the vocals come in, and you see we take some of that stuff away. And then I reintroduce this. But then if I tried to put this back in there as well, so to have this playing over top of this. But it was just too busy when it came with the melody. Just didn't fit right. I just wanted to really highlight the melody. So as you can see in different sections, I have different things going on just to keep the interest of the song up. And that's basically what I had over here for the melody section. There was, I think it's, no, it's not here. Is it? We had this in there. I don't know why it's off right now. Oh, it's because I have it in a different section, but basically it's in the harmony section. There was another string in here too, a high string that we used just to create some tension in some parts of the song. And you can barely hear it, but it's just creating a lot of tension within the song. Now, the next thing is this melody. Now, I know this says ultra deep house melody or vocal or whatever. It's basically what we did was took the vocal, and then I just went freeze or export to MIDI. And from doing that, then I had to it gave me this like really garbage MIDI structure, but it gave me some of the notes that were in the vocal, and then I pretty much rewrote it to make it actually super duper interesting. So this is the melody. Now, as you can see, I have a few layers of this melody. I have this like guitar pluck. I have a piano. And then this bell. And another piano or another pluck thing on top. So that was a lot to kind of like layer up and mix and master, but it gives a nice thick full sound. Now also, if we just look at the progression on the melody, on the first one I have this like dun 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 dun, whereas in the breakdown section I have it really narrowed down to just like one note. So I'm not giving it all away in the breakdown, so that when this kind of comes back, it comes in fully and people are excited to hear the full melody. And then after that, just for effects wise, I just have a bunch of like random effects. So just like some downshifters, some like thunder I put in there, this Omnisphere texture thing. What's this one? I forget what this is. Oh, just like vocal textures, and those are just kind of spread out throughout the track. But that's basically it. So the whole thing started with this chord progression, and then we just built the track around there. Now, if you're like starting out and you're having trouble mixing and mastering a song, we've created this free mixing and mastering bootcamp that the goal of it is to help you to produce incredibly clean sounding mixes using only stock plugins. And again, it's 100% free. And in the program or the course, we'll teach you how, when, and where to use the right plugins and effects, why developing a mixing plan is critically important, the power of gain staging, how to process individual and group channels, how to get a tight and control low end, and how our mastering chain for clear and powerful masters. So once you access the course, you can download this for free, and it doesn't really matter what DAW you're using. You can use Ableton, you can use FL, you can use Logic, it doesn't really matter, because all the techniques and principles can be used to any DAW and any any genre. So whatever genre you're making, you can use these techniques and principles to apply to any type of music. It's really all just like a simple process that we couldn't show you. And this is our basic mixing bootcamp, because we really wanted to give some free value out to people, so that, because we know what mixing is kind of a struggle. Now, if you do want to take your music to the next level, we do offer our one-on-one music mentoring program. This is the holy grail of just music like courses. It's not just a course. We guide you step by step to finishing high quality electronic music, and we do it in 12 weeks. And it is we show you the creative part, the mixing part, and the mastering. So we don't just do random mixing techniques and all that kind of stuff, because a big lack out there in courses is showing people how to make interesting music, and that's called songwriting. And this is what we focus a large chunk of the program on. We also do teach advanced mixing and advanced mastering, and we guide you step by step through that, giving you feedback, like one-to-one feedback on your music. Every week we meet for an hour and we chat about your music, and we give you solid feedback, and we teach you new strategies. But if you want to check out this whole thing is about, you can check it over at FinishBetterMusic.com. Just go over to the program tab and you can see what the whole program is about. If you choose to apply, click apply, or you want to join the program, you click apply, and this will take us to the this is like this form. Just fill out this form. This gives us the information we need to set up a one-on-one call with you. And during that free one-on-one call, we'll provide you personalized feedback with one of your songs. We'll analyze your production methods and define any areas that need improvement. We'll answer any questions you have about music production or the mentoring program, and we'll provide you with a custom blueprint to help you finish better music. Now, whether you choose to join with us or not, at the end of the call, you will be given a plan of exactly the steps that you need to take in order to make and finish better music. So I hope this was interesting. Again, go download the sample pack and use these sounds in your song. And I'd love to hear them. Send me a message on Instagram at It's Tom Anthony. I'd love to hear the music that you make with it. And until next week, we will chat soon. Peace.
Guys, just wanted to say thanks for Thomas and the program Finish Better Music. It was literally insane. Before taking this course, I felt lost. I was trying to get info on YouTube about everyone, and I didn't know what direction to take, and my track didn't sound good enough. And after I took his class, it was insane. He helped me a lot with the reference part, with the mixing part, mastering part. It's very, very good course, and I highly recommend it. It was awesome. And at the end, you will have a fully track ready to be released that will sound professional.